what's here. I wanted to ask you, ladies, what did you think about this? What's going on about the second moon? If you heard that the second moon is coming in. NASA thought at first it was an asteroid, but now they're realizing it's another moon. Did you hear about that at all?
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw.
I heard about it, and then same with the second sun. If people see the two different suns as well, but it's coming. We on a whole different time. It's here, yes.
You know what I'm
Or
saying?
if you have the eyes to see, it's here.
Yeah, it's here. I was also shown that as well because we're interconnecting. Other planets have other moons. We're not the only planet that has a moon.
Right.
And we're interconnecting.
Coming up a node.
Yeah.
Like, so you were saying that, what did you say? Like, there's other versions of Earth, or that sounds like interdimensional, multi-dimensions.
It's multi-dimensional. What I was saying was, how Source was showing me is that we're multi-dimensional beings, and at one point before the vibration of the planet was lower, we were able to, most of us was able to go from dimension to dimension, which is whatever you see here. A lot of our ancestors, well, I'm going to say a lot of us, was bringing those realities from one dimension back here to this planet. And because we're multidimensional beings, we all know that there are multidimensional other planets out there with life. We're not the only ones. And I was also saying, just like there are different species of animals here, there are also different species of humans here as well. We're, let me just correct the human phrase, because we know that's what you're saying. The stars are falling. The stars are falling.
Yeah. Go ahead, girl. Break that shit.
It's so much I could say, but I said a lot today on the live because Source had me to get back on there again and do it again today. And I'm just like, oh, wow. It's so many things that you guys need to start paying attention to because it's right here in our face.
Distracted, right.
Yeah, and they have disguised it. Basically, our mounds. I'm waiting to hear back from Earth Speak, and we know the truth now because I have them looking into some stuff that I was shown, and I know what I see because whenever you see a portal, it is on a mound.
Yep. And it's usually overgrown, and same
it's usually overgrown.
The trees too. A lot of the ancient trees that were of like the Jack and the Beanstalk stories. I literally have one in my backyard in Mexico. They say it's a mountain, but you can tell where it was cut down. It's completely flat on top, and you can see the calcified rocks, how it looks, how it was wood. And I see them all over. Same with the mounds. I'm like, oh, that's another mound. And when you're in the US, usually the mounds you'll see a US flag on top of it.
Wow.
Or like some type of like pole or something on top, like they're sourcing energy from it. If you guys pay attention, you're like, you'll see a flag,
I'm so glad
random
you
flag.
said that. I'm so glad you said that because Source showed me that underneath the mounds there is a source of energy that would charge these portals and these stargates. There is a substance under, and they know this. It kind of looked like oil. It almost looked like oil. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Source haven't told me exactly what that is. But yeah, there's more. I'm just waiting for the rest of the download. So with energy that would charge these portals and these stargates. There is a substance under, and they know this. It kind of looked like oil. It almost look like oil. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Source haven't told me exactly what that is. But yeah, there's more. I'm just waiting for the rest of the download. So with back in, what was that, 2020, when that thing happened, they knew then what was getting ready to happen. So they start doing what they did to tamper with the DEA, not the DNA. They can't do nothing with the DNA, but they can with the DEA. And they're literally looking.
Can you explain that for those that may be in the room that may not know what that means?
Oh God, it's gonna sound so biased when I do that. It's gonna sound awful. The best way I can put it without people feeling inferior, because I've already had people message me today asking me, are they safe? Because they're not
Melanin.
us. Yeah, they're not melanated. And let me just say, this is a vibrational thing. Our planet is based on vibration, right? And some of us carry higher vibration than other species of humans. I'm just going to say it like that. But we all don't have the DNA. Some of us are not either, and some of us are 15 genome. And most of us that we're 15 genome, we have the DEA, and everybody else have the DNA. And they know these things. So that means that some of us are walking gods and some of us are not. But it's not those are the ones that our sources saying would be actually able to access these stargates. Now I know all this shit sounds so, and everybody else have the DNA. And they know these things. So that means that some of us are walking gods and some of us are not. But it's not those are the ones that our sources saying would be actually able to access these stargates. Now I know all this shit sounds so crazy to y'all.
No, it doesn't. No,
It was making perfect sense to me.
I'm serious. It really does, because it explains so much, right, about why treatment has happened to certain people or certain ones, and then even within the same group, the treatment of others in the same group, right? So it's like they know who's who, but some people may not even know who they are, and wondering why they're getting treated the way that they're getting treated, right? Wondering why the family treats them the way that they treat them, because it's not necessarily always a bloodline. It could be, I always say it's a blood type.
It's a blood type.
Right, that's connected. So, and the reason why it may be such a hunt for those who carry the DEA is because, like you said, the reason why they have that is the genetic code that they carry that will allow them to access the stargates, because they're activated. And there are those who want to either try to escape or get out of here, whatever the case may be, but you can't go through it because you don't have the code. And it's someone talking about this too, have the genetic code. And we're at that precipice now. We're at the time where they keep showing you these gates because they have to disclose to you what's going on, but they put it in a fictitious way to make you think it's just a movie or whatever. But they're actually showing you, and at the same time, by showing these movies, it is triggering those or activating those with the DEA. And you're in a position to decode it and what it means, and you can see
and everybody else have the DNA. And they know these things. So that means that some of us are walking gods and some of us are not. But it's not going, those are the ones that our sources saying would be actually able to access these stargates. Now, I know all this shit sounds so crazy to y'all.
No, it doesn't. No,
It was making perfect sense
no,
to
it
me.
doesn't. No, I'm serious. It really does, because it explains so much, right, about why treatment has happened to certain people or certain ones, and then even within the same group, the treatment of others in the same group, right? So it's like they know who's who, but some people may not even know who they are, and wondering why they're getting treated the way that they're getting treated, right? Wondering why the family treats them the way that they treat them, because it's not necessarily always a bloodline. It could be, I always say it's a blood type.
It's a blood type.
Right, that's connected. So, and the reason why it may be such a hunt for those who carry the DEA is because, like you said, the reason why they have that is the genetic code that they carry that will allow them to access the stargates, because they're activated. And there are those who want to either try to escape or get out of here, whatever the case may be, but you can't go through it because you don't have the code. And it's someone talking about this too, have the genetic code. And we're at that precipice now. We're at the time where they keep showing you these gates because they have to disclose to you what's going on, but they put it in a fictional way to make you think it's just a movie or whatever. But they're actually showing you, and at the same time, by showing these movies, it is triggering those or activating those with the DEA. And you're in a position to decode it and what it means, and you can see past the veil. You can get the true meaning, and you can break it down. And now that gives you access to the realm of downloads, so you can continue bringing the message forth to activate more and more people that are carrying this thing and not realizing they haven't become online yet.
Yes, that's a perfect way of saying it.
Yeah.
So,
And also with the children that are coming in as well, and you know how they're trying to chip everybody, and so it's important for the women who are birthing babies at this time, you bringing in these babies that are eyes wide open with the DNA, and they have to have the foundation to do their work. So if you are if you need to heal yourself, so you bring these children in on a solid foundation, and hopefully not birthing them in these hospitals, because these hospitals are the number one tracker. So
they're tracking us.
We need more doulas, more doulas, more midwives, like to and home births, and or just centers that are private, that will allow us to bring in these star children, because you're right, they're born with their eyes wide open, and their parents should be already understanding their birth chart, so you can raise them accordingly to their chart, right? You can help power or nurture their gifts once you see it revealed in their chart. So there's always going to be a need for that, more readers, more astrologers, like more people that are in the metaphysics. So I Am God Frequency, talking about like that metaphysical school, like this is where we're headed, because we're going to need these type of facilities to help usher in this age. And this will, I always say this, this is how I know, we're at this split or this precipice, because people don't even think like this, right? And so when I say to people who are living in this fear-mongering type of place, you have to decide, are you here for the rise or are you here for the fall? You should be planning for the future and planning in what you're seeing in your third eye. Because I see the cities, I see the majestic cities, I see the free energy. I see us really free from this matrix. I see us eating how we're supposed to be eating. Somebody said it's Friday.
So we're not on their time anymore, right? Because time really doesn't exist. we're not on their time anymore. So everything is speeding up. What time is it? It's 11:56. I'm about to start having a whole download in a second. It happens to me every night at midnight.
Ooh, we special.
Just give me a second.
Breathe. Breathe. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I need to go fill my cup up again.
While you're getting your download, I'm just getting this. Some people were in the comments about the babies and what they can do now, especially as we're new Earth birthing. You know, finding a midwife, finding a doula. If you do have to have a hospital birth, then knowing your medical rights, like being very, very aware of what you can say no, and have going into the hospital is just as much as a contract as anything else. So if you have a doctor, review your birthing contract, tell them what you want, and make sure your partner is an advocate for you, mother or father. All right. And if they don't agree, keep finding other doctors until you find someone that agrees to your terms, because you're employing them. All right. So just make sure you have to be your own medical advocate, especially when it comes to birthing your children. And you can say no to the birth certificate. And, you know, there's certain ways to do it. I can't really talk about that really on TikTok, but there are ways to get around all of that and not put your children in the system. So
Yeah, for sure. My sister just went through that. Her last baby, he's not in the system. He don't have a birth certificate, but he do have a natal chart. And I absolutely love it. I wish I wasn't asleep when I start having children, because they wouldn't have had it either. But that's another story. We can always give that mess back, right? We can just cancel that contract and keep it going. But what I want to tell you guys is just start paying attention. It's everywhere. You can see what they're getting ready to do. Just remember that we're going to be an interconnected planet. These portals they're already here. So you know it's not a lie. You've seen the portals yourself. People are just confusing the portals and the stargates. What is surprising is that they're actually putting up the stargates. I thought I would never see them put up a stargate, but they literally don't have a choice, right? Because one morning you may wake up and the gods may be out there walking the earth.
Honey, I'm here for it.
And the thing is this, it's not a joke, because you've watched this all your life on all these movies, all these different shows. It sounds so far-fetched, but they got it from
cartoons
somewhere,
and
right?
everything.
They
Yes.
got it from somewhere. Like I can't say no one mind is that great, because we are that great, but they got it from somewhere. Not only that, all of this stuff is ancient technology. There is nothing new under the sun. Absolutely nothing new under the sun. And remember, we're part of a planetary network. There's nothing old and outdated when it comes to a planetary network, which is a matrix system. Matrix system is technology.
Right. It's who's so matrix system. The matrix system that we were in was controlled by whoever it was controlled by. Now, if I'm looking at this from an astrological perspective, and we're moving into the age of Aquarius, so Aquarius rules freedom, right? And it rules collective energy, and it does rule networks and nodes and connecting humanity together on a vast plane. So through utilizing the power of technology. But the reason why it's utilizing these things, because Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. So it comes with a level of responsibility. It comes with a level of accountability. right? So the connection that we're making is supposed to benefit all of humanity, as opposed to the matrix that we're leaving that only benefited a selected few. Now, also, what I wanted to tap into, there's something in, we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about crypto and the blockchain and all of this stuff. Talking to a sister, and I was saying, did you know that now, like when you start a business and things of that nature, it's called, you have a corporation. But with this decentralized platform of the blockchain, even though the governments are trying to create their own node of the blockchain, always remember that. They're trying to connect the node to it and get everybody on that node. But what you got to realize is you can create your own nodes, and you can create it with groups of people, and it's called the DAO, right? A decentralized, autonomous organization. Whereas there's no leader, it's all peer to peer.
It's peer to peer.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you start unpacking where we're going, like you can see, and it's setting everything up. But of course, they have to put, the powers that be, they play both sides. So they have to put a dark tone on it to scare everybody from it. But eventually, you're going to be on the system, and it's whether or not, here's the thing, here's the catch to it. Are you going to re-sign the contract of a governmental system, or are you going to be totally independent and start creating nodes with other groups of people, right? You're trading with each other, where you're building with each other, like you have your own platforms that you're connecting with each other, and also you becoming your own bank, where you have intrinsic value, or you create value, that realm of autonomy where you are totally free. And a lot of people are so dependent, and they're not going to understand what freedom really is. Freedom, remember, is accountability, because Saturn is involved. Now Uranus is like ping, ping, ping. Like Uranus it wants everybody at the party, right? Bring everybody, anything goes. You know what I'm saying? But it also wants to delve into futuristic ideas. It wants to network. It wants to communicate. Aquarians don't really have any Piscean energy, like feelings and emotions and things. It wants the facts, and it wants everything to flow where everyone can flow equally. But Saturn is there to say, but it must serve a purpose of stability. It must create a system that can be stabilized, and it must serve the people, as opposed to a system where the people are serving it.
So here's another thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, because what it's called is called spiritual sovereignty. It's about spiritual sovereignty, owning all aspects of who you are as a being. And some people just do not understand the importance of what spiritual sovereignty is. So when you put spiritual sovereignty and you connect it to our monetary system, that shift that is about to happen is exactly what you're talking about. Because whether you're looking in a spiritual aspect, or you want to look at it in the natural, your currency is spiritual, because it's a vibration that carries you through this realm, right? It helps you with the ability of your five senses. It helps you take care of the physical light body. So here we go. It helps you support the physical light body. But what's happening is, because we're shifting into an interstellar network, meaning that all of the globe will be connected into this network that is interstellar, which is called cryptography, not crypto. It's called cryptography. Cryptography is an ancient system, and it's not considered to be money. It is connected to your spiritual sovereignty, because we are supposed to get paid to be here, just to exist. we are here as occupants to keep the vibration of this realm elevated, to keep the consciousness elevated. So that's what's happening because they're calling it crypto right now because it's dead, it's not active. But when you look at the terms of cryptography, and I'm about to take you all the way there, when you say crypto, it's stellar lumens.
Oh,
It's Hedera. It's XRP. I can just
I better go ahead.
Naming them, naming them all. She's
yeah,
naming
it's
them all.
XRP. I can just keep going and going and going. This is where Bitcoin came from. It is on its own. This is where Bitcoin came from. It is on its own network. It is on its own node. That's all spiritual. When you go look back into the Sumerian and Egyptian periods, you see cryptography on the walls. You see the X. Why do you think Twitter changed it to X? He plays a major part in this whole system, the whole switch up. It's not even a switch up. It's just we're going back to what it's supposed to be. It's not a switch up. It's new to us because we have forgotten, but the reminders are here. The old to the X. You're gonna see it everywhere, and guess what? All of it is gonna be in blue. You have your V chain, which is blue. You have your XRP, which is blue and silver. You have your XDC, which is blue. You have your CAS, which is blue. You have your DAG, which is blue. You have your Doge, your ADA, which is blue. I can just keep going and going and going how all of these things are interconnected together because it's called cryptography. And it's connected to your spiritual sovereignty, which is why I've been telling my soul tribe, you have to get into the mindset of you want all of your 12 light bodies, not just your 7. You don't want any part of you just hanging around because of what we're getting ready to interconnect with. You want to own all of your sovereignty. It's not just about the money, it's about the spiritual sovereignty. And when you own your spiritual sovereignty, you break that curse that was placed under us, under the SSVQ. That's how you really do it.
wow.
And that's about to fade away. So,
I'm just showing a list of these coins that's going to be on that ISO 202.
yeah, 222. All of that stuff is connected. All of it. All of what that she's showing you, the IOTA, the XDC, that's everything, the Cardano, which is the 88 that I said, the Algorand. Look that stuff up and you will find out that it's ancient cryptography. This stuff is real and it's happening. Nothing can stop it. DT, when he says nothing can stop it, he mean nothing can stop it. That's what he's talking about because it's all interconnected. All of this stuff is interconnected.
So you see this, right?
You see that? You see the planet?
Yep.
You see that? You see what's happening right there? All of that means it's interconnected. It's all spiritual, y'all. You just have to start looking at it with your spiritual eyes. With your spiritual eyes.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to tell you, this has been one amazing live. Every time, I get on here with you, sis, we opening up portals and vortexes. And I just appreciate the build. I appreciate the knowledge and what we're dropping here because this is why we put these little platforms together. And also this is what this whole social media really should be about, right? Because these are their own little interconnected portals because everyone on this live is watching this is from somewhere on a different part of the world. right?
You're
And
on a
we all come
portal.
together in this, right? So this is our own little portal right here where we're connecting and sharing information. We've learned so much. I've learned so much just by talking with these ladies today. And I hope you've learned some great things too, because we're future mind. Like I look at myself, I like to think of myself as a futuristic thinker. I like to think about tomorrow. I'd like to think about 5 years from now. I like to think about 10 years from now, and where I can see myself, and the type of people I want to be around, and the type of energy that I want to create. And when she says, spiritual sovereignty, we're creators. All of this thing is about that. If you don't stay in a creative mindset, you're gonna seep into a slave mindset. I mean, it's
Exactly.
either or, right? It's either or. Either you're creating or you're in servitude.
You're in servitude.
Right? And they made it think that being a servant was like honorable, a servant of God. And this is another where you're supposed to be a co-creator with God. You're supposed to be always in creation, always in creative mode. Right?
And you know what? The thing is this, they start telling everyone. You just have to start paying really close attention to what they do. They start letting you into what they call the metaverse. They've been calling it the metaverse, right? They start telling you that you was a creator because they need you to step into that creation.
Thank you for listening to this powerful TikTok live of the Sisters Build of I Am God Frequency, the Astrology Doctor, and myself, Shopliss. If you want part 2, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more of this metaphysical talk, TikTok live, all things sacred. Peace.